I'm not a YouTuber. I just like making videos. Now I'm going to talk about my favorite subject today, Mr. Tommy Sotomayor. Or I like to call him Cyber Sambo. You know what I'm saying? Because he's all on cyberspace Samboing. You know what I'm saying? And don't get mad at me for calling Tommy out his name, because Tommy calls everybody out their name. I'm like, well, what's he called the Avize show? He calls him Mr. Swole Fat. Call him out his name. You know, it's funny that Tommy talks about how he don't call people out their name. You know, he's like, that's your name. But he does it all the time. And it's also funny talking about Tommy stands alone. He don't make allegiance with nobody. When, Tommy uses his followers to flag people. But, listening to Tommy is funny. I would say he's a funny guy because he contradicts himself so many times. I just laugh, you know what I mean? And if I see it, you got to see it too. But I want to deconstruct one of his arguments, you know what I'm saying? That's what, this ain't really a rant against Tommy. I want to deconstruct one of his arguments. And, you know what I'm saying? His argument about the talented 10th. Now, if you know about his theory about the talent, which is just a whacked out, insane space mouse type theory, he said 90%, particularly 90% of black people ain't shit. They're garbage. They're just useless eaters. You know what I'm saying? Waste of oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Or waste of their carbon suits or whatever. And that there's only 10% of black people that are really intelligent, that's really contributing to society. And these 10% of black people need to meet up with one another. And that these 10% sometimes meet the wrong people and things get fucked up. These 10% will meet up with them. Now this theory is completely this proof. I'm like, even if you're a devoted Tommy follower, you got to say this is a fucked up theory. Also, this whole theory about, superior people with superior minds or superior physical structure or whatever, or so-called superior intellect, only breeding with other people of this type on the same level has been tried before in history with disastrous results. World War II, Adolf Hitler tried that. You know what I'm saying? And what happened is anytime that's tried, and that's been tried before in history, in European history, it's met with, it never works out. Never. You know what I mean? And for people to sit up there and believe Tommy, like, yeah, you're right. First of all, this whole of the 10% meeting the other 10, that shit will lead to incest real quick. You know what I'm saying? These superior people, you have to want to keep it all in a family and be like, okay, we can only breed with our own stock. Eventually, incest will play a part. And in Nazi Germany, there were some incest with the upper class, because Adolf Hitler that felt that these rich people, the same people that funded him, has a superior intellect, and we need more people, and they were marrying their own cousins. That's a fact. That's written down in the fucking history books. So Tommy Sotomayor, Cyber Sambo, wants people to resort to incest. You know what I'm saying? And also going into this talented 10th. Okay, let's say I'm one of the members of the talent. I'm part of the talented 10th. Come on, bear with me 1 second. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm real smart. And I built a flux capacitor in my basement. I built a time machine. You know what I'm saying? I figured out ways to turn human waste into fuel for automobiles, which I feel that somebody probably already made that invention, but the oil companies don't want you to know about it or whatever. But let's say that. Let's say I'm just a real brilliant guy. You know what I'm saying? And let's say for some reason I just like messing around with whores. I like fucking around with whores. You know what I'm saying? I like sticking my dick in prostitutes and strippers. That is just my thing. Now, would that take away from my talent? Will that take away from my great achievements if I'm this inventor or whatever? And, you know what I'm saying, came up with these brilliant ideas and achievements that has propelled the human race. The fact that I want to fuck with prostitutes or hood rats, does that take away from me being part of the talented 10th? Yes, I'm still a brilliant guy. You know what I'm saying? I just got bad choice in women. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of brilliant men throughout history have had, take Benjamin Franklin. I know he was a slave trader and all this other shit. Yeah, he was a perverted motherfucker. But going by white people's standards, wouldn't you say that Benjamin Franklin, by white people's standard, was one of the one of their talented people. He made the history books, and he was supposedly real smart, you know what I'm saying, key in the kite or whatever, and things he did. But we know he liked fucking with maids, and he fucked with slaves. We know this. So does this take away from his brilliance to white people? Would this take... No, white people wouldn't say that. Or, you know what I'm saying, Thomas Jefferson, you know what I'm saying, we know his sexual, you know what I'm saying, does that, in white people's eyes, does that take away from, you know what I'm saying, what, you know what I'm saying, their brilliance, you know what I'm saying? No. So it's just like with us, with Elijah Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things about Elijah Muhammad I disagree with. I don't think Fort Muhammad's the guy, but the fact that he liked it, them teenage girls, does this take away from his accomplishments about how he wanted to clean up the black man, especially in a racist America? So you see that Tommy's theory about the talented 10 is fucking whacked out, and he's on some Adolf Hitler shit. And you guys want to follow this guy. I literally deconstructed his argument. Now, I want any of you Tommy fans to debate me. You know what I'm saying? You guys... You know, nobody has really stepped up to the plate. Tommy fans are all like, pound cake, pound cake. They still, one has not stepped up and debate me on the merits of Tommy's arguments. They have not. You know what I'm saying? And I put it on the table on my other video to debate me on the merit of Tommy's arguments. And that all his arguments can be deconstructed if you put your pom-poms down and think with a rational mind. Also, I'm going to leave it out on this note. That Tommy... still bragging about Carmel Kitten and still, you know what I'm saying, putting Carmel Kitten on a pedestal. But yeah, still, he talks bad about Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, a black female, you know what I'm saying, who graduated from Harvard, Yale, or whatever, the first lady who's trying to get America into shape or whatever, and yet, and still, he has more praise for internet twerker who got her own site where she's dildoing herself more than a dark black female who's educated. Think about it. And this is the person you want to follow. I'm out.